Hi everyone, I'm in this cave today and I'm thinking about David from the Old Testament. If you remember, David was the young man that the prophet Samuel said would be the king over Israel. He was a young man whose life held so much promise. He was a statesman, he was a warrior, he was the one who people said had slayed tens of thousands of people in defense of Israel. But then one day he found that his life was literally falling apart when he was displaced from all that he knew, and he found himself running for his life in the Judean wilderness. And David, as he fled King Saul's wrath, found himself living in a place like this, found himself living in a cave. David fled to a place called Adullam. It was a cave, and the name Adullam actually means refuge. And it was in this place that David would take refuge in his God. Everything in his life had been stripped away except his relationship with God. And God would work in his life, and God would shape him, and God would transform David and make him King David and make him the man after God's own heart. Seems like David had every reason to lose all hope. His once bright future had now faded. And I think we can learn a tremendous lesson from David, because so many times in our lives, our future can be in question, and we can lose hope. But David, in the midst of trial, seeks his God. And we see in Psalm 57, a psalm that David wrote from this cave, he writes these words. He says, "I cry out to God Most High, to God who fulfills his purpose for me. He sends from heaven and saves me, rebuking those who hotly pursue me. God sends his love and his faithfulness." Even when we are facing trials, even when our future seems unsure, we can understand and we can know from God's Word that God does indeed have a purpose for us. And the other thing that we can know is that God is forever faithful. We see that displayed in the life of David.